Hey everybody, today is November 23rd, 2019. Earlier this week, we received news that a minor league baseball player named Ryan Costello, a prospect for the Minnesota Twins, passed away in the city of Auckland, New Zealand, playing winter ball during a stint with the Auckland Tuatara. This article, as well as other sources, are claiming that Costello died of natural causes. Mind you, this was a 23-year-old professional athlete. It's very rare for someone that age, in good physical condition, to pass away of natural causes, Costello being found dead by his teammates, again, back on November 18th. So in this video, we're going to discuss the code of letters and numbers. And in my opinion, it's more likely than not that this man was murdered by the global network that's running our mainstream media, professional sports, and federal governments. Now, on this channel, I talk about the language of numerology with a focus on Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And in the case of Ryan Costello, his death happened almost freakishly by the numbers. Using the alphabetic order, where each letter in the alphabet is assigned a number 1 through 26 relative to its position, the name Ryan Costello has an ordinal value of 159. Costello was born on the date June 13th. Measuring from his birthday to the date of his death on November 18th gives us a span of exactly 159 days, just like the gematria of his name. Costello passed away in Auckland, New Zealand, and if you follow my work, you'll see that these stories, these incidents that occur overseas and in America, are often aligned with the mayor of the city that it occurs in. And if you're not familiar with my work, please do check my channel. Also, check the blog post that's linked in the description below, as I contain many examples to incidents being involved or related to the mayor of the city. My last video on the mayor of Fresno, California, and the shooting there explained this in the same fashion. Well, the mayor of Auckland, New Zealand is named Phil Goff. He assumed office back on November 1st of 2016, which, measuring to the date of the death of Ryan Costello, is exactly 159 weeks. Phil Goff, wearing a necklace here of various symbolism. This is clearly tied to secret societies. And when we're discussing secret societies, the most ubiquitous in the world is the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, whose 33rd degree headquarters are located in Washington, D.C. In the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is 1 and A is 26, Scottish Rite equals 159. Notice also how Scottish Rite sums to 165 in ordinal, much like the name New Zealand, the country where Costello passed away. In Latin, or Jewish gematria, a cipher called Agrippa's Key in some Masonic literature, the name Ryan Costello equals 859. Now, in this line of work, prime numbers are of utmost significance to this study. Notice how 859 is the 149th prime number. Ryan Costello passed away in the city of Auckland, which equals 149 in reverse. The name of their baseball team was the Auckland Tuatara, which equals 149 in ordinal. The mayor of Auckland was born on June 22nd, which means on the date of Costello's death, he was exactly 149 days after his birthday. Also notice how Auckland Tuatara equals 41 in reduction. The date Costello died had a life lesson number of 41. November 18th also had primary numerology of 68, 11 plus 18 plus 20 plus 19. I often discuss the Hebrew gematria of the word sacrifice, the Hebrew language, completely coded by gematria, logically so. Well, in Hebrew, this word for sacrifice, it's actually a different one down here. Ugh. It's one for sacrifice or immolate. Well, I have this on my blog, sacrifice summing to 68. Now, if you measure from the date that Ryan Costello was traded to the Minnesota Twins, which was July 30th of 2018, you'll find he was traded exactly 68 weeks before his death. 68, a number associated with death. Think about caskets being 6 foot deep, 8 feet long. The inverse of this number is 86, which is a term to off or get rid of. And check out the date of that trade, July 30th, written 7/30. In English gematria, the word sacrifice, summing to 73 in the alphabetic order. Just want to revisit this. Okay, there we go. This Hebrew word for sacrifice does sum to 68. So I'm not an expert in this language, but this is the same word that sums to 347 in Hebrew gematria. Another number of sacrifice I talk about often. Moving on. November 18th, the day Costello passed away, was also the 322nd day of the year, which means there's 43 days left on the calendar. Using prime numbers, which is the alphabetic order with all non-primes left out, the name Costello equals 322. In reverse reduction, Costello equals 43, just like how there were 43 days left in the year. This is also the gematria of killing, 43. And if you measured from the date that the Twins were eliminated from the playoffs to the date of Costello's death, it was a span of 43 days. Also interesting that Ryan Costello finished his career with 43 home runs. 43, the 14th prime. He hit 14 home runs in college. So perhaps a little organic numerology or something deeper. Using the alphabetic order, the name Costello sums to 101. Costello played for the Minnesota Twins franchise, and this past season, in the year 2019, the Twins finished with 101 victories. In the reverse alphabetic order, Costello equals 115. This season concluded with the 115th edition of the World Series. Remember, the word killing equals 115. And just as the World Series was getting underway, there were we got the deaths of two different MLB umpires. One was 63, the other was 52. If you add their ages, you get 115. Something else interesting about this date, November 18th falls 5 months and 7 days, 195 days after 5/7, which is New Zealand's original establishment date of a federal government. And 195 is the gematria of Minnesota Twins. Also, the date November 18th, 195 as well. There also appear to be some loose connections to the Prime Minister of New Zealand. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. As I think the clear riddle here is that Costello passed away in Auckland, and it's 100% coded around the numerology of the mayor of Auckland. So, you want to be a ball player. You want your shot at millions of dollars. You want to get in there with the mob, with the cabal, huh? Well, you better hope you don't have the wrong numbers. Or else you could end up like this guy, dead in your hotel room on the other side of the world, dying of quote-unquote natural causes. Believe it if you want, or understand the truth about this world and that there's a lot more darkness than we've been led to ever believe. The only way out of here is to shed some light on that darkness and to try and spread the truth so the world can wake up to this kind of garbage. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for jumping in. We will talk to you all soon. See ya.